Hi YouTubers, this is Kate. Welcome to my channel. I'm excited that you are joining me. I don't really know what to say. Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. At this point, if you have not watched my first video, it was called Welcome to my channel, my Lyme disease journey. Definitely do that. It gives you kind of a good overview of what I'm trying to do here. Essentially, I want to connect with other people who are going through struggles in their life. It doesn't have to be Lyme. I want to educate people, whether they are supporting someone with Lyme disease or going through Lyme disease, or really just anyone who thinks, I got a tick bite, I don't know what I should do. And I also want to keep my family informed and up to date on what's been happening with me. And my dog is growling at something that's not there. So maybe there's a ghost in my house. So today what I really wanted to do was give you a history of what Lyme looked like for me before it was figured out, before I was diagnosed, and what my life kind of looked like leading up to the appointment with my doctor that I was diagnosed in. I'll start out this way. Pretty simply, I've had a few different times in my life in childhood that I had some medical drama that happened for a 9-month period to a 1.5 year long period. My doctors did the best that they could do. No one ever really looked at the big picture to start thinking, why are all these things happening to Kate? I kind of, looking back, see myself as the sickly version of my sister, or the sickly and tired version of my sister. We would get together with family and go out and do, I don't know, hiking or cross-country skiing, and I was always the person who was crying somewhere because I just felt like I couldn't do it. I was just so exhausted. I did well in school, and I was on the dean's list in college, and I was able to start out my career after college very well. Went into human resources. It was a perfect fit for me. It still is a perfect fit for me. I love it. I wish I was working right now. So adulthood sets in and some things start happening. I started having some issues right here, which is right in the area of your diaphragm. And I went to multiple, after talking to my GP about it, I went to multiple, what are they called? Stomach doctors, GI, I can't think of the word. And I had an endoscopy done. And ultimately was told that I had a very minor sliding hiatal hernia, but that it really shouldn't be causing the symptoms that I was experiencing. I had this just constant shortness of breath and like just this really full feeling in that area. And it also got to the point where when that feeling would be so full, I would be breathing in and out and I would feel a click. Like I would feel a clicking happening at the top of my breath in order to almost allow myself to get the full breath. And I remember I would put my husband's hand on my stomach and say, do you feel that? So that was kind of the last straw for me when the clicking started happening. And I went back and they said, you know, take certain foods out of your diet. The fact that your stomach is clicking or diaphragm is clicking is medically insignificant, which was hilarious to me. Like I mean, at the time was working, it was fine. It was a nuisance, but I thought to myself, I don't think your organs are supposed to click or your muscles. Like I don't think that that's medically insignificant, but okay. It really started to pick back up again in 2014. We kind of said, okay, this is going to be the year where I figure out once and for all what's wrong. But it was also in 2014 that a lot of other things started happening. I felt this annoying pressure in my head. very, very faintly. And I started doing this thing where I'd plug my nose and blow out my ears. And I would do that maybe 2 or 3 times a day, just because I felt like something wasn't right in there, like maybe in my sinuses, and I just felt like I needed to adjust something. So I would do that. And my husband would say, "What are you doing?" And I say, "I don't know. I just feel like I need to clear my ears. I need to do something. I don't know why. I just have this feeling." Again, not debilitating, it was funny to me that it was so bothersome to him that I was doing that. He thought I was going to mess up my sinuses or something. And he would say to family members, "Do you see this? Do you see what she's doing? Why is she doing this?" But it was a very odd feeling. It just was so faint that it didn't worry me, because I thought, well, this is just probably sinus related or something. So that started. I started to become very, not even sad, but I became very numb. I have always been, and at that point in my life, I had always been this really bubbly person. I was in an HR department of 2 in a continuing care retirement community, and I had so many friendships there, and I was energetically a part of that community. And I still, oh my gosh, I look back on those people and I just love them so much. But I didn't feel that naturally anymore. I felt just kind of like no sadness, no happiness. I was just starting to feel nothing. And I started to drink at night more. That I knew that I should be drinking, and I almost felt like I only felt emotions or, happiness or sadness or anything after I had had a drink or two. That started to become a problem. Drinking really started to become a problem for me. It never affected my work or anything, but I knew that if I was having to drink in order for my emotions to work correctly, that there's something wrong. But I didn't know what to do with that, and so I stuck my head in the sand. It was also at that job in 2014, mid-year, I had a very disturbing moment. And it sounds funny, but it wasn't okay. So there was a test that our social work department was coming around and showing to employees that basically all residents going into our assisted living, the assisted living piece of our community had to take, to kind of grade where they were, maybe as far as some sort of dementia. And I was getting all the answers right. I was saying the alphabet backward, and then there was a part where there was the drawing of 5 different animals. And one of them was a tiger. And I was staring at it. And, sometimes like there's a word on the tip of your tongue, and you can't think of it. That's not what this was. I had no concept. I had absolutely no idea what that was. It looked familiar to me, but I didn't know what it was. And I thought to myself, man, maybe I'm really drinking too much, or I never drink at work. But I didn't know. It was something that had never happened before, and everyone laughed about it. It was fine. But a lot of stuff started happening. I couldn't explain things to people as well as kind of lucidly or fluidly as I had been able to in the past. Like if they came in and wanted to understand better, their whatever benefits plan, I had a very hard time kind of putting my thoughts together in an order that was best to present that information to them. So anyway, I was still doing well enough professionally, great professionally. I got a new job with a company that allowed me to travel. I got to go to a whole bunch of places I'd never been. So then I believe it was December 9th, 2014, where everything started. It was no longer here and there. Oh, that's weird. Oh, this is strange. Oh, I wonder what that is. That is the day that my life changed forever. That is the last morning that I woke up where it was just a normal day, because I have not had a normal day since that time. We went over to my sister's house to make Christmas cookies. Now, this is a tradition that we do every year. And it's like a joyful thing, and we listen to all of our old nostalgic cassette tapes of Christmas music and Nat King Cole and not Roy Orbison, what's his name? Robert Goulet, and all of that. And plus on top of that, like cherry on top of the sundae, my 2-year-old niece was there, 2-month-old niece was there, who I had only seen maybe one or two or three other times. So this should have been a really exciting, happy day. And I just remember sitting there at the kitchen table, thinking, I feel nothing. Like, I feel absolutely nothing. I'm not enjoying this. I wasn't sad, but it was just the strongest that I had ever had, this just in total numbness. And I remember faking my way through the event. Of course, I still loved my niece. I still, gave her kisses. I still smiled for the camera. I did all of the things that I was supposed to do, but I knew that things were breaking. There was a breakdown happening. A major breakdown. So, we got into the car to drive home. My mom and I had about an hour and 15-minute ride back to where my parents live. And at about halfway through the drive, the most horrifying physical sensation came over my body. I have never felt anything like this before. I was sitting there in the car, like bracing myself, grabbing onto the arm of the car and trying to breathe. But it was just this feeling throughout my body of like imminent doom. Like something was happening. And I know that sounds panic, but it's not, I promise you. It is a physical, just like nauseous feeling throughout my entire body. And I was sitting there like, I'm gonna die in this passenger seat. Like something is happening. I then started to try to pull myself together. We had to stop at Walmart to get some stuff. We got out of the car, we walked into Walmart, and I said, Mom, we gotta hurry up and get out of this store, because I have to sit down, because I just, my body is so overwhelmed right now. I don't know what this is. I wasn't hyperventilating. I wasn't doing any of that. I was just basically bracing myself and trying to figure out what in God's F am I feeling right now. On Christmas morning, as we were going around opening presents, I had to get up and walk out of the room because I felt like I was going to scream because the feeling was so strong in my body. I did not know what to say. I did not know how to describe what my body was feeling. It fit into no category that I had ever known.